I be really honest? I am so tired this week, and writing has felt heavier than usual. But instead of pretending that everything is fine, I thought that we could talk about what it actually looks like to write a book when your energy is low. The real life interruptions, the foggy brain, those soft little moments when you try again anyway. If you're exhausted too, or falling behind, or just feeling guilty for not being a magical productivity machine, this is your safe corner today. Let's slow down together, take the pressure off, and find a gentler way to create even when we're tired. Hey, hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Melanie, and I write all things cozy. Today, I want to talk about something that a lot of us don't like to admit during these big novel writing months like November. And that is what it actually feels like to write when you're tired. November can be such a magical month for creativity, but it can also be exhausting. And if you're feeling that way, please know that you are not alone. So today we are going to chat gently about writing while tired, how to keep going without burning out, and when it's actually more productive to rest. First of all, there's a reason you're tired. Writing every single day is mentally and emotionally heavy. If you're aiming for that classic 50k goal, even if you write 7 days a week, which most of us can't or won't, that is 1,666 words a day. That is no small thing. And on top of that, life doesn't pause just because we are trying to write a novel. Work, family, stress, the early sunsets depriving us of sunlight. It's a lot. Trying to balance all of that alongside writing at a consistently faster pace is going to leave you feeling like you are walking on a tightrope, trying in vain to maintain balance by looking ahead and not down at, well, everything. So please don't beat yourself up for being human. Creative fatigue is completely normal. When you're tired, the first thing to do is lower the bar. Not the dream, just the pressure. Write 50 words. Write one sentence. Write a messy summary of the scene instead of the scene itself. Progress is progress. And those tiny steps will add up faster than you think. Instead of thinking about kind of setting aside hours and hours to write thousands and thousands of words, think instead about writing in the pauses instead. The moments between items on your to-do list. When your brain feels foggy, make writing easier. Use voice to text while you're lying on the sofa, or just a voice memo. You could tap notes into your phone, do a 5-minute sprint instead of a whole 25, 30, 35-minute session. Maybe just talk through a particularly tough scene with a partner or a friend. You don't have to solve the problem, but it can really help to take some of the pressure off from feeling like if you're not actively writing that you're not doing anything. You are still building the story, just in a gentler way. One of my favourite tricks when I'm tired is to turn that moment into something cozy. I light a candle, I make a cup of something warm, and I just choose one simple scene and just soften the whole thing and take the pressure off. Sometimes I have to remind myself that I'm writing a book. I am not single-handedly saving the world like some sort of superhero. That's not to say that writing isn't important. It just gives me some perspective when I am too caught up in it. Sometimes the pressure melts away when the environment kind of feels more comforting and soft. I also want to say this gently. Tiredness is a signal. It might mean you're dehydrated, hungry, overstimulated, or you simply need a break. Check in with yourself honestly. Writing is important, but so are you. And I really believe this. Rest is productive. Taking a day off might mean that you actually return tomorrow refreshed, inspired, and ready to write again. A rested mind is so much more creative than an exhausted one. Even on tired days, momentum doesn't have to mean words. Reading over your last scene counts. Thinking about your plot out on a walk counts. Listening to your playlist counts. I created a playlist for the Lunar Quartz Library and I have definitely listened to it many times over. I'll link it down below. Spoiler alert, if you grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, you will definitely recognize most of the songs. You are still moving your story forward even if no new words appear. So if you're tired today, please remember this. You do not need to feel inspired to make progress. You don't need a perfect writing month, just a compassionate one. Your story will wait for you. It's not going anywhere. And if what you need most right now is rest, you have full permission. Rest is part of the creative process. You are allowed to pause. You're allowed to come back tomorrow. You're still a writer, even on the days that you write nothing. Thank you so much for spending this gentle moment with me today. I hope that you are giving yourself kindness, especially if you're tired. Let me know in the comments, how are your energy levels this week? And what helps you to write on those low energy days? Sending you a cozy hug, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.